We've talked about eye tests before and the importance of getting your eyes tested. As someone who thought that I had Wonder Woman vision and I could, spot a parking space miles away, when I finally hit that wall where I had eye trouble, it was like kicking and screaming. I went to the eye doctor. Now I would never miss my yearly appointment, and some of you can relate to that. So I don't know what that is about us, that we have this bravado if we've had great eyesight about, I don't need glasses, not yet. But one thing we're seeing for sure, especially because we live in this computer technology age, we're seeing a lot of younger people, I know this in my nieces, in having a problem with nearsightedness, and it started young, where they were on that road wearing glasses, and they would never, again, this is that whole thing about getting your eyes tested, they would never miss those eye appointments because of how important it is and what it does to kids when they're in school and they're trying to focus and they can't focus. So he's been on with us before. It's been a while, but Dr. Albert Pang, optometrist, joins us. He's in our virtual green room. I don't think he's taken eye test, but Dr. Pang. I love the eye test, by the way. Can you see it? Because this, Dr. Pang. When we're sitting in your chair, we think it's a test and we want to get it right. We're trying to say we can see all those letters. You know that, right?
Yes, of course, everyone have that idea. But when they sit down on the chair, when they look at the bottom line, it's kind of a surprise to them that they cannot see the smallest letters. Yeah.
Exactly. They want a cheat sheet from you, Doc. Give us a cheat sheet so we know what we're saying. We have no idea. But this is
everything have a price.
Yes.
So if the price is right, I give you the right answer.
I love that you're playing along. That's great. So it's really as serious, though, with these kids. Is this because... Why are we seeing this spike in nearsighted kids under the age of 5? Why are we seeing that?
Well, two things. I think, unfortunately, our world is becoming more of an indoor environment, indoor culture. That's what I'm talking about. How many times that you see, children now, the parents is giving them a electronic device, either iPad, iPhone, and ask them to play the game, and then instead of going out to the outdoor to play outside, everyone is now playing inside with all the electronic devices. So that's one thing. And also the other thing is, the other extreme is like, I think the society, the community is getting so competitive. We always try to get ahead of others. And so we are asking our 5 years old or 4 years old even to try to learn how to read, to learn how to recognize the alphabet, and give them books to read before the age of 4 and 5, and so that they were able to get ahead of others when they get to the school. So these are the two things, electronic devices, and then we are trying to push our kids to read earlier. Those are the two areas that I think contribute to all those nearsightedness kids coming around.
Wow. So is there anything we can do about that? Like you said, maybe better to send the kids to play outside and get away from the computers and the tablets a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's so important now that we're really ignoring the fact that all those good old activities of, getting crazy outdoor, playing around. I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I was much older than you are, okay? But when we are growing up, we do spend a lot of time, like during the summertime, we spend a lot of time outdoor doing all the crazy stuff, and then we go out in the morning, and then we go back at night for dinner. And then, most of the time we spend outdoor, but now all the children are reversed. They are all spending the time indoor and instead of out. It's so important for us to spend a good portion of the children's life outdoor to kind of give them an idea, give them a good peripheral vision, and that is how the normal development of the eyes needed. If you're always looking at the screen, only using the central vision, ignoring the peripheral vision, that's where the nearsightedness kick in.
Oh, that's a good tip for everybody out there listening, too. We're speaking with Dr. Albert Pang, optometrist, Trinity Eye Care. You can go to trinityeyecare.com. So, Doc, that's the same for all of us, too, right? Then we need to maybe take breaks during the day and try to get off the screens. But, you walk around, you go to lunch, you go to dinner, and you see people with their heads in their iPhones the whole time.
Yeah, that's right. And if there's any way that we can do it, first of all, we look at our work environment. When we are staring at a computer, do not sit too close. We need to have a good working distance from the from the computer so that we have, again, same thing we're talking about is the peripheral vision. So when you look at the computer, you need to have as many exposure to the peripheral as possible. Do not turn off the light when you're looking at the computer because you need to use the peripheral vision portion of the eye to stimulate the overall vision. And same thing when you're looking at the phone, don't get it too close. Hold it further out, expose yourself to peripheral vision. I do not know whether you heard of this saying is, nearsightedness is not induced by your central portion of the eye. It's not the 20/20 portion that causes nearsightedness. It's the periphery, it's your side vision that is contribute to your nearsightedness. So try not to obscure or cover your peripheral vision. That's what I'm trying to say. Have a good distance so you're still exposed to your peripheral vision.
Oh, that's a good tip there, too, Doc. How about as far as people getting eye tests? Do you find, I'm joking about this in the beginning, but it's true, that we all kind of drag our heels in coming to see the eye doctor. But really, once you get into that, you have to go yearly, don't you?
Yeah, I would say, definitely, especially anyone that is, again, either the young or the old or the middle-aged need to have the eye check regularly, and a lot of pathology eye diseases start coming in after 40. And for children, the early ages, because it's so vital for them for their learning, we always confused by the term eyesight and vision. Eyesight is how good you can see whether you have 20/20 vision. Vision is encompass the whole visual system. How you use both eyes together, how you're able to have depth perception, how you converge or diverge your eye. In other words, how the mechanic of the eye work together. Vision, the eyesight is only part of the picture. It's only to tell you how good you can see centrally, but they never tell you how good you're able to work two eye as a system together. You probably heard of people say they have headache, they see double vision, words kind of swim around, jump around. That is the binocular vision because the two eyes do not work together.
Wow. Yeah, so that's what you got to pay attention to. In your years of doing this, you've seen massive changes in optometry. What is your favorite piece of equipment or the thing that's made life easier in really narrowing down what someone's problem is and how you need to adjust their eyesight?
I think with all the year go by with all the technology, still to be honest with you, is more to do with asking the patient. I don't think the equipment will able to replace any of the intuition that the doctor and the patient have. I think a lot of time to answer the questions, on the contrary, we are now depending so much on devices to test the eye. Forget about the most important thing is asking the patients. Up to now, I think I get the most information by asking the parents about their children, by asking the patient himself how they feel, how they experience, and then we were able to find out what is the reason of the problem. Devices usually will not able to give me that much of information as much as the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes when I talk to the patients. Again, good old, doctor, the old good doctor thing is, you talk to the patient, you find out a lot more things than just depends on your stethoscope or all those devices that you can get information from.
Yeah, so it's important then for people listening all around the country and in Texas, et cetera, that when you go, you just be as honest as you can, what you're feeling,
right.
What you see with your eyes. Is it just reading like you mentioned? Is it more than that? Or when you read the charts, that's why you tested the lenses in so many different ways, right, Doc? Because that's the only way you can come up with a plan.
Yeah, tell us about how you use tell us how you use your eyes. If you're fearful about, you're losing your eyesight, tell us why you have this fear. Because a lot of time when we dig deeper, we were able to find out, because, one of the family member have this kind of condition or that kind of condition. And those conditions that run in the family tend to also run in the patient themselves. So we were able to get a lot more information by the patient really honestly tell us their fear, how they use their eye, what is the major problem that they're encountering. That really helps us a lot more than, the data that we collect.
Yeah, great stuff. Dr. Albert Pang, thanks so much. We'll talk to you again, Doc.
All right, good.